Welcome back, everyone. Open Line. We have with us State Senator Raumesh Akbari. She is Democrat from Memphis. She has proposed a bill that would legalize the recreational use of marijuana, and a lot of calls. So I believe Jerry has been on the line a while. Let's go to Jerry. Jerry, are you there?
Yes, sir, I am.
Go right ahead. What's on your mind?
I very much oppose this. I think it's a bad idea. I think it sets a bad precedent. I think our children are going to suffer from this. I think the law enforcement's not going to be able to force keep the people from smoking pot and going out on the roads and all. She keeps saying it's a financial benefit, but she ain't looked at the other side. Well, how many people go out in the hospital? How many people are going to lose their job because they can't pass a drug test? This is such a bad idea. It's not going to be financial, but it's going to be taxpayers' burden.
Taxpayers' burden. Okay, I'm really glad you called in. Thank you. What do you say to that?
Well, one, if you look at other states that have legalized it, they have not had those type of issues. Two, it would still be illegal for folks to drive under the influence. Nothing stopping them from doing that now, and nothing stopping folks from driving under the influence of alcohol. So I don't think there will be that concern. But truly, when you look at states that have legalized it, whether medicinal or recreational, you have not seen this tremendous uptick in folks that are driving under the influence and that are injuring themselves and injuring others.
Okay, but that's interesting. And he said he's worried for his kids. And you hear that from people. What do you say when they worry about that?
I say, listen, we're saying 21 and up, not talking about a juvenile population. And if a juvenile wants to break the law and use drugs or drink alcohol or even smoke cigarettes, I think they're going to do it anyway. It's up to, I think, the parent to provide, that type of household where that's not acceptable. Because right now, they could use the drug, they could drink alcohol, and they could smoke cigarettes.
All right, let's go to Terry. Terry, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Go right ahead.
Yes, sir. I'd just like to thank the senator for what she's doing and maybe give her a different perspective on why it should be legalized in Tennessee. From a hemp standpoint, we can't grow hemp above 0.03 THC. If marijuana was legalized, they'd have to drop that regulation and free the farmer up to make some money.
Okay. All right. What do you think of that?
I agree. I mean, like we said earlier, when you look at farmers who have not been able to really make money from soybean or other traditional products because of the tariffs, being able to grow marijuana will really help our farmers. And Tennessee is an agricultural state. So we'll get farmers to work. We'll help our small and distressed counties where they have plenty of land and folks that have farms, but they just are not able to grow crops that are profitable.
Let's go to Tarika. Hello, Tarika. Tarika, are you there? You may not be there. We'll come back to you. John, hello, John. John, are you there? John, hello. Hello, go right ahead.
Yes. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate you taking my call. Interesting to hear Jerry earlier with his opposing viewpoint, which is obviously in the minority for our state. But one point I really wanted to make was everybody keeps talking about Colorado and California. If you really look into it, a lot of marijuana growers are leaving the state of California because they've overburdened the permitting process as well as the tax burdens that they're putting on users. It's causing people to buy their weed off the black market. So that's one thing I would really like to caution this legislation to not be overburdensome on the users as well as people that are going to want to enter the industry to grow it.
Okay, interesting. There's still this black market sort of selling because the taxes are so high.
Yeah, I mean, I think it will certainly kind of decrease the amount of black market selling that's already going on, and the government will be able to essentially regulate how commercial growers and sellers function. But I think California, their regulatory process is different from Tennessee and probably any other state anyway, and they've been around a lot longer, so maybe they have kind of gotten really bureaucratic with their process. But for us, I think Tennessee in general feels more limitless. They want their government to be a little bit limited,
right.
But at the same time having a structure in place that will promote safety and will also benefit the state.
You've proposed a 12% tax on cannabis products. How is that compared to what other states do? Do you know what California?
I do not know what California does, but I imagine that it's probably significant just because of the medicinal concept of it. But I'm not sure what other states are doing.
How did you arrive at 12%?
Well, it seemed like if you look at our sales tax at the 9.25, it seemed to be not too terribly unreasonable. And then also looking at taxes for alcohol by the drink. It seemed like a good number that would not be overly burdensome, but would also generate revenue for the state.
Okay, let's go to Mike. Hello, Mike.
Yeah.
Go right ahead.
Yeah, I'm all for it. Let's legalize. That's just my opinion. I think alcohol is a gateway drug.
Right. All right. All for it. A lot of calls like that. All for it. We've had one against, and then a lot that are all for it. Let's see. Who else do we have? Who's on line 7? I think it's Braden. Is that right? Are you on line 7, Braden? Brandon?
No, this is Cheryl.
Cheryl? Well, good, Cheryl. Go right ahead.
Well, I'd like to thank that nice lady there for what she's doing. First of all, and thank you for taking my call.
Yes.
I think marijuana should be legal for recreational and instead of medicinal. Because the pharmaceutical companies are going to try to stop it because they're going to lose money and they want to get their hands on it, first of all. Second of all, the state of Tennessee needs the money. They are in debt so bad and they need help. We need help here. We really do. And I think it'll bring Tennessee out of their financial burdens, and a lot more people will be taken care of. In the state of California, I'm originally from California, okay? Now, when they made it medical marijuana, you know, at first, you were allowed, if you had your card, to grow 5 marijuana plants for yourself.
Okay.
Or you could go to one of the places to pick some up, you know. And then they made it recreational.
Okay.
And it brought California out of debt. In Colorado, it brought them out of debt. And it's a good thing for the farmers. They need it.
Okay.
And,
all right, so a big part of all right, a big part of the conversation is the money.
Yeah.
Is that the number one selling point in your opinion?
I think I do think for some people it will be. For me, it's more about public opinion. This is what the community wants, that elects us to serve, and then also about the reducing some of the unintended consequences of incarceration, especially for these low-level offenses. You're literally destroying communities and families and putting people in a position where they cannot get a job, and it's very difficult because they have a felony. But I think the money is huge. It does have an impact.
Somebody said they're worried people would fail drug tests.
Well, I do know that was something. So Colorado has the Air Force Academy, right? And so even though it's legal there, the policy is at the Air Force Academy you cannot take drugs. So I think that's something people have to be aware of and cognizant about. Like, you have to, obviously, you cannot violate your drug-free policy where you work. So that is something to consider.
That's kind of up to them.
Yeah.
Let's go to George. Hello, George.
Hey there, how you doing?
Fine, go right ahead.
All right. Man, I really do think it should be recreationally legalized out here. I'm from Chicago, man. I've seen some really, really amazing things done with recreational and medicinal marijuana. People that have opiate addictions, things like that for pain and ailments, man. I mean, it's completely better than the side effects and symptoms that some of those pharmaceutical drugs may bring. It's an amazing thing, man. I really do think that it could help a lot of people. Recreationally, not so much, but medicinally, yes, 100%. I mean, they've proven that it slows progressive growth of Alzheimer's, dementia, you know, that just goes with people that think that it, you know, kills brain cells. That's not very true. You know, there's a lot of things that it does help, you know, and I believe that it would help people. Not only that, but look at Colorado. They made close to $12 million in their first year off of marijuana sales, and they put most of that money, close to 80%, back to the schools in Colorado. And that's an amazing thing. That was an amazing thing. So keep doing what you guys are doing. My vote is yes, 100%.
Okay. Boy, a lot of that.
Yeah, it has widespread support. I mean, I trust Vanderbilt's poll, and it says that Tennesseans overwhelmingly support it.
All right, Christy and others, we actually still have a lot of calls. So hold on the line if you're there. We're going to take a break, come back, take more calls. We'll be back right after this.